Why did you decide to hold that protest, that silent protest this morning?
Because we never wanted to accept his apology. It was always an empty apology, so we never wanted to accept it. We wanted to be listened, like they said, it would be about the bereaved.
And when he began to speak and began to start giving his apology, what were you thinking? Were you actually listening, or was it just you wanted to make your point that you were still hurting?
We knew, because it had been trailed beforehand over the weekend, that he was going to apologise or attempt to apologise. And that's why we decided we were going to make it clear that we weren't prepared to accept that. So as soon as he started, we stood up with our signs.
Thank you for that, friend. And Catherine, I know that when Baroness Hallett asked you to leave, you did say something in the inquiry room. What did you say?
I think we were very quiet, very dignified. We've been here lots of times. We always remain quiet, but it's very difficult to hear an apology from somebody who doesn't mean it. And so as I was leaving, I said, I don't accept your apology.
Did he look at you when you said that?
No.
You didn't look? No. And Kirsten, look, as you say, you guys have all been here throughout the inquiry. You're volunteers at the COVID Memorial Wall as well. Do you not believe that he is sorry for his actions?
In one word, no, not at all. I don't believe it for one moment. I think it's empty apologies. It's him just trying to make himself look good for whatever reason, but actually the apology is meaningless.
Outside of the apology, and anyone can pick up on this, and I'll get our sound operator to grab you. What do you want to hear from him then? If he said sorry, he's going through all the things that happened. What do you want to hear? What's going to make it, if it can make anything, a bit better to hear something from him?
Currently, we can't hear anything at all because we're not allowed back in the hearing room, and we're waiting for Lady Hallett to decide whether or not we can go back in. But at the moment, so we can't hear anything. If we're in the room, and I do want to go back in the room, I would like truth from him, but sadly, I'm not sure that that's what we would get.
Catherine, what do you want to hear?
I'm undecided if I actually want to go back in there. I find it particularly difficult to listen to him in particular, due to the fact that my sister-in-law lost her life right at the beginning of this pandemic, and probably due to the late lockdown, and I find that extremely difficult to listen to. But again, I just want the truth, and it's very difficult to get that from Mr. Johnson.
And Fran, that's one of the questions, isn't it, about the timings of the lockdowns? And I know you're holding a picture of your partner, who they said died just 3 weeks after you got married.
We got married in September 2020, and Steve died in October, just before his birthday.
I mean, is there anything that you could hear in there, or from any of these people giving evidence, these politicians or experts, that are going to make you feel like the lessons that need to be learned will be learned?
I think if we had confidence that everything that was being said under oath was truthful, and that lessons would be learned so that this would never, ever happen again, so that we wouldn't lose nearly 250,000 people to a virus because our government were inefficient and undecided and chaotic, as we've heard from many other witnesses, that would be something that would give us hope for the future.
Yeah. Michelle, you're nodding along with some of that. And
I'm just agreeing that...
I mean, the story of your mum is I mean, every story is shocking, but your mum was particularly shocking. She got COVID, was taken into hospital.
And never treated.
Almost immediately given a do not resuscitation.
Yeah, 2 hours after admitted to hospital, she was, her DNR was placed on her. So she was never treated. Within the first documents of her medical file, it was saying palliative care when she went in with COVID.
And you think that's because at that point they didn't know what was happening,
No.
and they were just trying to manage those that were dying rather than keeping people alive?
Yeah, I do. I truly do.
Anything you could hear in there that's going to make you feel like you're getting the answers that you deserve?
No, because I don't think we will hear the right answers that we want to hear. I hope we do, but I very much doubt we will.
I mean, a lot of this is meant to be about lessons learned, right? We're hearing some of the apologies, we're hearing some of the things that they think they did wrong. Have any of you thought about what might happen or what should happen next time we get something like this that hits the country, about decisions that could be made in government? Has anyone ever sort of considered what you would like to see happening at the top of government different?
I would like to see a cross-party response to a future pandemic where we have no politics, but we have the people that we've elected actually trying to look after the people in this country.
Sounds very sensible. I mean, anyone else given any consideration to what they might like to hear?
I'd like them to be able to have to answer to questions at the beginning of the pandemic and throughout.
To be accountable all the way through for the
To be
decisions they're making.
accountable all the way through for the decisions they make, yeah. Because it wasn't just about making the wrong decisions, it was the other slaps in the face with the lockdown parties, and, you know, that was particularly difficult. And you just want a government that's got the best interests of the country at heart, and we just didn't get that. We didn't have
We
that.
haven't got loads of time left, but I do want each of you to tell us a little bit about the ones that you've lost. We'll start with you, Kirsten. So, tell us a little bit about your mum.
My mum lived on the Isle of Wight. She was admitted to hospital in March 2020, at the end of March 2020, after she fell at home and fractured her pelvis. She spoke to me on the phone before the ambulance came and said, I don't want to go to hospital because I'll catch the virus and I'll die. She was in hospital for 4 weeks, and whilst awaiting discharge, she had a positive test. So she was moved immediately into isolation. The following day, she was in their end-of-life unit and she was dead within the week.
Thank you for that, Kirsten. Catherine?
So this is my sister-in-law, Myrna, who held a senior position at Oliver Bonas. And she was admitted in the middle of March and passed away on the 29th of March after being on a ventilator for 3 days. 6 of us at her funeral, and none of us allowed to be with her when she died. And this is Jake. This is someone that I've brought along with me today, who was 15 and had his whole life ahead of him, was making plans to go to college and deciding what he wanted to do with his future. And I've brought Jake along today.
In Fran?
Steve was in the Met for 30 years. He believed in justice. He would want us to be doing what we did today.
And Michelle, final thought from you.
My mum, Violet, she was 78. She was admitted to hospital and died 19 hours later for no care.
Thank you very much for your time. I'm sure your relatives will be very proud of what you've done today. Thank you very much for being with us. Michelle, Catherine, Fran, Kirsten, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.